Welcome back, everyone, to Nation of Glory, where we celebrate stories of strength, passion, and destiny. Today, we dive deep into the journey of a woman who turned her dreams into a revolution. A woman who broke barriers, inspired millions, and proved that no cage, no company, and no doubt could ever hold her back. This is the story of Mercedes Moné. Born as Mercedes Justine Kaestner-Varnado, she was never destined for the ordinary. From the very beginning, she carried a fire inside her, a fire that refused to be dimmed. Growing up wasn't easy. Life tested her early, moving from place to place, facing challenges that could have broken anyone. But instead of letting those challenges define her, Mercedes used them as fuel. Wrestling wasn't just a passion for her, it was an escape. It was her language of hope, her way of shouting to the world that she would never stop chasing what she loved. When she was just a little girl, she would sit in front of the television, eyes wide with wonder, watching her heroes in the ring. Eddie Guerrero, the man who became her ultimate inspiration, wasn't just a performer to her. He was a symbol of resilience. The way he fought, the way he moved, the way he made people feel something, that's what Mercedes wanted. She didn't just want to be part of wrestling. She wanted to change it. But how does a young girl with no connections, no famous last name, and no safety net enter a world so tough, so dominated by power and politics? She started the only way she knew, by working harder than everyone else. In 2010, Mercedes began her training at Chaotic Wrestling Promotions in Massachusetts. She didn't have glitz, she didn't have money, but she had grit. She trained day and night, pushing herself past exhaustion, proving that talent means nothing without heart. Soon, the world started to take notice of that heart. Under the name Sasha Banks, she entered WWE's developmental system NXT. And that's where the transformation began. The confident swagger, the purple hair, the boss persona, it wasn't just a character. It was a reflection of the fire she had carried since childhood. A message to everyone watching: I belong here. And I'm here to make history. And she did. Match after match, Sasha Banks began to change how women's wrestling was seen. There was a time when women's matches were treated as filler segments, forgotten, overlooked, and underestimated. But Sasha, along with a new wave of talent like Charlotte Flair, Bayley, and Becky Lynch, refused to be forgotten. They didn't want to be called divas. They wanted to be called wrestlers. The NXT TakeOver Brooklyn match in 2015 between Sasha Banks and Bayley became a turning point, not just in her career, but in the entire industry. It wasn't just a match, it was storytelling, emotion, passion, and perfection all in one ring. That night, the crowd didn't see gender. They saw greatness. Sasha made sure of it. And when she moved to WWE's main roster, she carried that same energy with her. Sasha Banks became a name synonymous with revolution. From the first ever women's Hell in a Cell match to main eventing pay-per-views, she wasn't just participating, she was redefining history. But behind the smiles, behind the championships, there were cracks forming. The pressure, the creative differences, the politics, they started to weigh heavy. Mercedes, the woman behind Sasha Banks, wanted freedom. She wanted to express her art, her ideas, her creativity. But in WWE, control is a rare luxury. She felt trapped inside a system that often valued marketability more than individuality. The boss was supposed to be powerful, unstoppable, but Mercedes, the person, was exhausted. She needed to breathe again. In 2019, she took time away from the company. The world speculated. Was she done? Was she broken? But the truth is, she was evolving. When she returned, she came back stronger than ever, winning titles, stealing the show, and inspiring a new generation of fans. Still, deep down, she knew something was missing. She had given everything she had to WWE, her blood, her soul, her body. But she wanted more than just spotlight, she wanted creative freedom. And that's when destiny stepped in once again. In 2022, after years of pushing boundaries, Mercedes made one of the most shocking and courageous decisions of her life. She walked away. From fame, from comfort, from one of the biggest platforms in the world. Not because she was ungrateful, but because she believed in herself. That decision wasn't about rebellion, it was about rebirth. In a world where many play it safe, she chose to take a leap into the unknown. She traveled to Japan, a place that respected wrestling as an art form, not just entertainment. There, under the name Mercedes Moné, she reinvented herself. She studied the Japanese style, strong, brutal, beautiful, and embraced it with passion. The fans welcomed her with open arms. In NJPW and Stardom, she didn't just compete, she thrived. She proved that her name wasn't built by a company, it was built by her heart. Her matches in Japan showed the world a new Mercedes, tougher, freer, and more connected to her purpose than ever before. And when the time came to return to American television, she chose a new home, All Elite Wrestling. AEW wasn't just another company. It was a place where creativity was celebrated, where wrestlers were treated as artists, and where freedom was real. And in AEW, Mercedes Moné once again shined bright. She didn't just debut, she arrived. The crowd roared, the lights flashed, and the wrestling world felt the impact of her presence once again. It wasn't about proving WWE wrong, it was about proving herself right. As of 2024, she became the AEW TBS champion, her first reign, her first chapter in this new era. It's poetic, really. The same woman who once helped lead a revolution in WWE was now leading another on her own terms. But what makes Mercedes Moné's journey so powerful isn't just the titles or the fame. It's her message. That you don't have to stay somewhere that doesn't value you. That your worth isn't defined by others' opinions. That walking away from comfort is sometimes the bravest thing you can do. For every young dreamer watching, for every person who's ever felt trapped, Mercedes' story is a beacon of hope. She didn't wait for permission. She took her destiny. From a little girl watching Eddie Guerrero on TV, to the boss who made history, to the free artist who became Moné, her journey is proof that greatness is born when courage meets belief. In interviews, Mercedes often talks about her passion for storytelling, how wrestling is more than just moves and punches. It's about emotion, connection, and meaning. That's exactly what she brings to the ring. Every match feels like a story being told in real time. Pain, pride, victory, heartbreak, all blended together in the art she loves. Her influence has stretched far beyond wrestling. She's become a symbol for women who want to lead, not follow. For artists who dare to dream differently. For anyone who's ever been told stay in your lane. And let's not forget, Mercedes didn't stop at wrestling. She expanded her world into acting, appearing in the Mandalorian series, proving that her talent wasn't limited to one industry. The same energy she brought to the ring, she brought to the screen: strength, elegance, power, and confidence. She became a crossover star, showing that wrestlers can be more than just athletes. They can be storytellers, creators, and icons. It's that evolution from Sasha Banks to Mercedes Moné that makes her story unforgettable. And what's truly special about Mercedes is that she never forgot where she came from. Through every high and low, every headline and criticism, she kept her humility and her heart. She has always spoken about her fans, how their love gave her strength when she needed it most. When people doubted her, she turned those doubts into motivation. When doors closed, she built her own. When the world tried to label her, she rewrote the label. Today, she stands as one of the most influential female wrestlers of all time. Not because of how many belts she's won, but because of how many lives she's touched. Her story isn't about wrestling, it's about freedom. The freedom to be yourself, to evolve, to walk away, to begin again. Mercedes Moné is living proof that success doesn't come from staying comfortable. It comes from daring to change your world, no matter how scary it seems. Every time she steps into the ring now, you can feel that spark, that reminder that this woman fought for everything she has. She fought for respect. She fought for representation. She fought for her dreams. And now, she fights not because she has to, but because she wants to. Because wrestling isn't just her career. It's her calling. When people chant her name, they're not just cheering for a wrestler, they're celebrating a survivor, a dreamer, and a trailblazer. Her story teaches us that it's okay to evolve. It's okay to outgrow your environment. It's okay to say, this isn't enough for me anymore. Because the only way to truly grow is to listen to that voice inside you, the one that whispers, you were made for more. And Mercedes Moné listened. She believed. And she soared. So, the next time you see her walk down that ramp, remember, you're not just seeing an athlete. You're seeing a story of courage, passion, and transformation. A story of a girl who dreamed of wrestling. And ended up changing wrestling forever. From Mercedes Justine Kaestner-Varnado. To the boss Sasha Banks. To the CEO of her own destiny, Mercedes Moné. She is more than a champion. She is a movement. A reminder that no matter where you start, you can always rise higher, as long as you believe in yourself enough to take that first step. And that, my friends, is the true definition of glory. Thank you for listening to this powerful story, here on Nation of Glory. If you felt inspired, if this journey touched your heart, make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Because every week, we bring you stories of strength, hope, and greatness, stories that remind us that glory isn't given. It's earned. Until next time, stay inspired, stay passionate, and keep chasing your dreams. This is Nation of Glory signing off.